Okay, class, picking up where we left off at, we have 1/2 times 13 times 78, and 1/2 times 13 times 78, we could put it in the calculator. So we will have, we know 1/2 is really 0.5 multiplied by 13 times 78. And that gives us 507. So our answer would be 507 square feet. And that is our final answer for that problem. Now we want to find the area of this trapezoid. Now remember, the area of a trapezoid is 1/2 times the height times b plus b, uppercase B plus lowercase b. So we will have 1/2, h is 6, uppercase B is 12, and lowercase b is 5. So now we will have 1/2 times 6, 12 plus 5, we know it's 17. So we can put that in our calculator. We have 0.5 times 6 times 17, which is 51. And that is our final answer. That is our area. Now, it says find the area of this trapezoid. Okay, now, this is what we would need to do. We still need to do the same formula. Half of the height times uppercase B plus lowercase b. The height here is 5. Uppercase B would be 15. And lowercase b is 3. So it would be 1/2 times 5 times 18, which would be 45. So your area here would be 45. Now, we go to the next page. It says circle. A circle is a set of points in the plane equally distanced from a given point, its center. The radius r is a line segment from the center to any point on the circle. All radii in a given circle have the same length. The diameter d is a line segment through the center whose endpoints both lie on the circle. It is twice the radius. All diameters in a given circle have the same length. It says find the circumference of the circle. This gives a little background of the different formulas for the circumference of the circle. But the circumference is 2 pi r, or you could have a circumference of pi times the diameter. I know it's shown up here, but these are the two formulas. Now the area of the circle, the area is equal to the radius squared. So we could just leave it at that. So now it says finding the distance around the circle. Okay, the circumference is really the distance around the circle. So the circumference is a fancy way of saying the perimeter of a circle. Now it says here, find the circumference of the circle with diameter 40 yards. Now remember, circumference, one of the formulas is pi times diameter. Now, we're going to do an exact answer, so we're not going to change pi. So it'll be pi times 40 yards. So then our circumference would be 40 times pi yards. Now it says problem solving. Using the formula for a circle's area. Which is a better buy? A large pizza with a 16-inch diameter for $15, or a medium pizza with an 8-inch diameter for $7.50. So this is what we would do. We would do the area of both pizzas. So we would have pi times radius squared, and also pi times radius squared. So we will have pi times, the radius is half the diameter, so that would be 8 squared. And here it would be pi, and remember pi is half the diameter, so then that will give us 4 squared. So this will give us 64 pi, and this will give us 16 pi. So what we would need to do is do a price comparison. We would take our 64 pi, we would take $15 and divide it by 64 pi, and then we would take our $7.50 and divide it by 16 pi. And will see which one comes out with the better answer. So now, you do have a pi key on your calculator, but as you see, I do not have a pi key on this calculator. So I'm going to assume pi to be approximately 3.14. So I do 15 divided by, and then I will put 64 times 3.14. And that will give me about 7.5 cents a slice. I'll put slice, cents per slice. Okay, so now it's 7.5 cents per slice for that one. Now we do the other pizza. We will have 7.50 divided by 16 times, and remember I'm using 3.14 to represent pi, and that would give me about, what's that, close to 15 cents or 14.9 cents. Per slice. So the better buy would be the $15 one, the 16-inch pizza. So you can write that in here somewhere. I didn't leave myself enough space, but you could say the 16-inch pizza is the better buy. And that will be your answer here. Okay, now it says, what is the cost per square inch of a 16-inch pizza that costs $16? So we already did a 16-inch pizza. We already did the area. So we would just take 16 and divide it by 64 pi, because we already did it for a 16-incher. So we would take 16 divided by 64 times 3.14. And that would give us about we might as well say about 8 cents a slice. Or we could just do this 0.08 per slice. And that is the final answer. Now it says here, example, find the perimeter and the area of the semicircle and the rectangle. So what we would do is this here. We could draw an imaginary line straight across. That's half of a circle, and this is a rectangle. So they want us to do the perimeter and the area. So the perimeter of a rectangle is 2 times the length plus 2 times the width. So the length is 15, the width is 6. So it'll be 30 plus 12, which is 42. So the perimeter is 42 feet for the rectangle. Now let's go ahead and do this area too and get the rectangle totally done. So we would do the area. The area is length times width. The area is 15 times 6. So the area is 90 square feet. Now all of this is the rectangle. So that's the perimeter of the rectangle. That's the area of the rectangle. Now we want to do the perimeter of the circle, which is called the circumference. So here, if you notice, this right here would be considered the diameter, and it's the same length as this. So we could do pi times diameter. So now we have the circumference is equal to pi, and the diameter is 6, so it would be times 6. So circumference is 6 pi, and that would be feet. Now you have a calculator. You could put this in your calculator, 6, and then multiply by the pi key in your calculator. And I want you to round it to 2 decimal places. So this is your circumference. Now we will go with the area. The area is pi radius squared. So the area is pi. Now remember, the radius is half the diameter, so the radius would be 3, and that's 3 squared. So this would give us 9 pi square feet. And you can put this in your calculator and round it 2 decimal places. And we're done. Okay, now, for A and B it says find the circumference and area of each circle. Find each in terms of pi and then round to the nearest tenth. Round pi to 3.14. So this is telling you to do that. So now we will have the circumference. Since we're given the radius here, it'll be 2 pi r. Circumference is equal to 2 pi and the radius is 8. So this will give us 16 pi centimeters. That would be the exact answer, but then they also want us to give an answer where we make this 3.14. So this is one answer for your circumference. And then we would do the other answer. It would be 16 times 3.14. And we will put that in a calculator. That would give us 50.24. And that's centimeters. And remember, that's an approximation. Now, that takes care of our circumference. Now, we want to do the area. The area is pi radius squared. We're given the radius here, which is 8. So it'll be 8 squared. Which is 64. So we have area is equal to 64 pi centimeters squared. So that would take care of the exact answer. Now we have to do the approximation. So it'll be area is equal to 64 times 3.14. Now we get our calculator, and we would take 64 times 3.14, which would give us 200.96. So the area is approximately 200.96 square centimeters. And that is both of your answers. Now, what I want you all to do is to try B, and then bring it to class, and we can go over that. Now, on this next page, I want you to try all of these problems on your own, because actually the next 2 pages, I want you to try all of these problems on your own and bring them to class, and we can go over them. Now, on this last page, you're given the area formula. It's giving you the area formula for all of these figures. So, we are basically done with this section. I might just go over one more problem, maybe this E problem here. Now, they did ask us, from what I understand, I believe they asked us for the perimeter and the area. I'll find the area and perimeter. So let's go down here to this last problem, which is E. Now, first thing, let's do the perimeter. We know this whole side is 13. This side is 4. And we know 4 plus 9 will give us 13. So that takes care of this missing side. Now we need this missing side here. All of this from here to here is 14. This is 7. So this also must be 7. So our perimeter, we would just add all the values. 13, 14, 9, 7, 4, and also another 7. Now when we add this, this is 27 and 9, which is 36. 36 and 7 is 43. 43 and 7 is 50, plus 4 is 54. So this is 54 meters. That is the perimeter. Now we want to do the area. Now remember, we would do the whole rectangle minus the small missing rectangle. So we know we will have length times width minus length times width. And we know this is the larger and this is the smaller. So the area is equal to, now length times width of the larger is 13 times 14 minus the smaller. We will have here, this is 4 and 7. So we know it'll be 4 times 7. So we had 13 times 13 times 14, which we could use our calculator. 13 times 14 will give us 182. So it'll be 182 minus 28. So the area is equal to 154 square meters. And that is our final answer. And we're done.